Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to episode 6 of Motorsport Manager, the Underdog Challenge. I'm Fallback, and I will be your guide throughout this challenge. Last episode, we did pretty well in terms of setting ourselves up for a bright future, as we got our vote to influence the competition's rules, and it got approved. Spec engines wins, as you can read. And that means that next season, all engines will actually be special parts. Just like you can see, here. The rear wing, for example, is a spec part, and so is the front wing. Both are just 150. That will become the same now for the engine. And we might even try and get the brakes to also become spec parts, because as we saw, one of the future votes will actually be about making brakes spec parts. I think we can even see that on the agenda. Yeah, there you go. Politics, so it's spec brakes. I don't know if the next vote can actually be seen on here. Doesn't look like it. No. Oh, it is. That is interesting. So you can actually see it up ahead without having to pick your own vote for the season. That is useful. I didn't know that. We already asked for funds ages ago, so that doesn't matter. So we are working towards our next race, because right now there isn't too much for us to do in terms of tactics anymore. Our car won't be upgraded much this season, though we might try, for example, to improve our gearbox a little bit and take a better one into the next season, but we'll see. Next up will be Munich, where acceleration, deceleration, and medium speed corners will be important. Unfortunately, none of the wings are important. So that means we are definitely probably not going to do so well again this race. But we'll see what happens. In the meantime, there isn't that much for us to do. So let's skip over the Asia Pacific Yokohama race and see that McNeil apparently won it. Good for you. And let's keep going. Yeah, as you can see, we are still scouting drivers as always. Doesn't matter too much. We don't really care about getting a new driver. We just want the information. And we are currently in 9th place in the team championship, which is great. We are currently doing better than our original target. Then for Munich, it will be a 25 lap race and likely rain during race day on Sunday. So that is important to keep in mind. Apart from that, what else is there? Scott Price apparently wants some more acceleration, don't we all? Yeah, the gearbox might actually be one of the things that we do work on this season, depending on how the votes go. And does Price have a future in the music industry? That gives him the buff of +10 marketability. That's nice, because I think he's not at 100 yet. Well, now he is. Frankie Kinney was the one not yet at 100. I think he was already capped out. That's a shame. We are actually, we just dropped below 70% marketability, which sucks, because from then on we are only getting 3-star level. That is very annoying, because I think we are 0.3% off getting 4 stars back. We need to do something, preferably do well in races or somehow get a boost for Frankie. I think she had a temporary buff that dropped off, and that's why we now have a lower marketability. That sucks. So hopefully we get a bit of luck and we get a event, or we do well in a race and get that little tiny bit of marketability back, because we could really use it. That one level in star rating makes a huge amount of difference. How is everything here going? We upgraded our rear wing to be a bit more stable, and now we can also start working on the front wing. We'll leave these parts as is for now. All of it is looking good. I don't think we'll be in trouble with any of our parts this race weekend, but regardless, we still want to, of course, have them as high as possible, despite already basically having a guaranteed worst car on the circuit. Back to Munich. We've already been here once, but I think this time it'll be a different track layout. They'll just cut off a corner or something, or relay the track a little bit. And that makes the track then a bit different. So we go twice to Germany. I think there's a few more that actually have to go twice. It will be a 25 lap race, and our tires could potentially, we could just do a one stopper, but I think they'd never allow for a one stopper with the fuel that you get, at least not with the standard rules in the European racing. So I think we'll just do soft all the way. We'll try to do a two stopper for softs. We should, of course, change your car setup a little bit. And yeah, we picked Linares and not Price because she has better feedback rating. Not much, but every little bit helps. And let's put you right at the edge. Yeah, that works. Okay. Same for Kinney. Put you right out at the edges as always and get a quick rating. Would love to do this race a bit quick and then try and do a second race after it, but we'll see how long the episode goes for. Depends also whether we get an eventful race, I suppose. Oop. Should actually send them out before putting the speed too high. Lost a good 30 seconds, I think, in time. And let's bring them back in. Kinney first. Poor, good. That's not great, but we know that we are at least around the area. I think with a poor, we should want to be around here. And for the handling, around there. And let's, for the speed balance, I guess go like close, but not too close. And send you back out again. And you are actually excellent on the downforce. That's always a nice one to get excellent on, because this one you don't have to change anything. And it won't impact these then. So now we can just play around with these a little bit. Let's put you around there. You are very poor, like really far off. So let's put you like here. You'll probably have to go a third time at the very least. Whereas Kinney, we might actually get her already to a good enough level. But let's see. It doesn't matter too much. Regardless, we're not getting our knowledge up that quickly. That's okay. It doesn't matter so much, but every little boost, of course, helps. So it would be nice to get a bit more. You were good here, and now you're poor. So actually, we need to bring you right to the other side. That will probably be great. Put you back on there. You can now go. We know pretty much guaranteed that you're going to be in the 90s, so that's good enough. You are excellent, great, good, which is also 94. Do we have an inkling of which way to go? No? Okay, then we're just going to send you out for the remaining laps and try and gain as much knowledge as we can. Hopefully we can get to level 2. Level 1 is pretty much guaranteed, but a level 2 would be very nice. But it doesn't really look like it. This is, well, 4 minutes to go, and they always get a little bit of extra time still if they're running out their lap after time. But it doesn't really look likely to me. Yeah, we're only just hitting the halfway mark. Still 2 minutes to go. That's gonna cut it very close. Come on. 1 more minute. And then still the remaining lap time. So that's another, like, let's say full minute if we're lucky. Ooh. We might... Yeah, there you go. Okay, we barely got to it. Alright, I'll take a level 2. That is, for the level of racers that we have, a very good result. I wonder what the issues were. Yeah, we were probably by far the slowest, but I feel like our fans should be used to that by now after, let's say this is the 6th race. I don't know what gave you the impression that we can do much better, but I'll have what you're having, let's say. A neat little plus 10% bonus for each. Yeah, your setup is fine. We're gonna keep it that way. Yeah, like I thought. You only get like enough fuel to last, that you basically guaranteed to do a 2-stop. So that means we're just gonna do softs all the way through. We're not gonna try any shenanigans with the mediums. If rain happens like it is supposed to, then this also gives us the most variability of quickly switching off some tires. So this is good. And yeah, like I said, everything went to great. Perfect. Let's put you on red each for the start, and probably whichever one of you still has a chance to keep some spots will keep going on red for a while, and the other will move down. Some people are starting on mediums, which I think again is just AI dumbness, because that is definitely not the right choice on this track. I guess you can push your tires a little bit harder, but the amount of performance that you lose from it seems not worth it at all. Kenny immediately lost like 6 spots, I think. You started out in 3rd, right? Yeah, you lost 6 spots. That's bad. Okay, well, that basically settled your fate. I guess you're going back then. And let's give Price a little bit more power so that he can try and really use this fresh air. Give them, everyone behind, to hold them all up a little bit. Maybe give Kinney a little bit of time to try and catch up. Soon we might bring Price back to orange. That does basically guarantee he's immediately gonna lose the spot, but I think it is the right choice. You're dropping like a fly. Let's give you just yellow, so you can really try and make most of these tires. Maybe like orange. I don't know. We do need to hold off on you soon now. Let's give you. We'll keep having you in overtake mode, but your tires you're gonna conserve a little bit more. Because I'm more worried about the tires, to be honest, than about the engine. Yeah, your engine is really good. We buffed that pretty much as far as it can go. Yeah, you just hold your own. Try to, at least. And we'll keep playing a little bit. It seems like the temperature isn't that high. Yeah, 19 degrees, so our tires are actually holding out remarkably well. And somehow actually our lap times are too. We're still in 1st with Price. It is also probably because everyone else is running much less aggressive on their fuel. Yeah, they are. But that's okay. We got a lot of fuel to play with because of the 2 stops that we have to do anyway. So I'd rather really try and keep up these lap times, keep out of traffic, and just fight for it, basically. Then, and yeah, we use a little bit more fuel, but that's okay to me, to be honest. We will probably have to pull back on the tires semi-soon-ish. Really don't want her to overheat. And you're almost 1 lap away from each other in terms of fuel, so that's perfect. Your engine still fine, 90 versus your, yeah, your engine is definitely not going to be in any trouble whatsoever. That's okay. So, how many laps do we want you to do, is the question. Still on these tires. Well, first of all, let's put you to yellow, because you are going to overheat very soon. I guess 4 more laps would be okay. That's sort of... Hey, you do 8 laps in total. That seems fine. Because we can do that twice more, basically, and sort of be okay. That does probably mean that we need to hold off on the overtake mode for the remainder of this stint. And that's going to cost you places, pretty much guaranteed. But the alternative is we do 3 laps now still, and we also don't really get a nice round off on it. I think we just go high now. Yeah, that'll probably be best. We do 4 more laps. That also means we get to keep going on our somewhat fresh tires still for a while. And we do 5 laps for you. That's also pretty much going to guarantee a perfect result for you. You can actually push your tires a little bit now, because, yeah, your temperature is pretty much perfect. How is it looking behind us? Yeah, you're really pushing us, so that's okay. I think we're just gonna give up the first spot now. We're anyway getting quite close to pitting. In like 3 more laps, and yeah, that's probably the best option. We knew we were gonna lose these spots, obviously, as soon as we actually pulled back, but I'd rather do that 1 extra lap than and give ourselves a little bit more power later on in the race, because again, we can run red if we need to later on. Actually, you're losing a little bit of... You're losing a little bit of your temperature while on medium. That's pretty good, actually. Yeah, that's really good. Well, let's anyway try and keep a hold of this spot. Yeah, it looks like everyone else is pulling back a bit, that's why. They're holding back on their tires. So since none of them are attacking, that kind of saves us a little bit. You are really pushing your tires now. Let's try and defend with a little bit of tire pressure of our own. Come on, pull out, pull out. I can't give you that much tire. It looks like you're gonna lose the spot. Yeah. Oh, I'm still fighting for it. No, it looks like you lost it. Okay. Well, That's okay. We need to pull you back anyway. You're gonna get in the upper bandwidth soon anyway. And yeah, now you're really dropping like a fly. I guess all that dirty air is now getting to you finally. Probably hitting your lower bandwidth on the tires soon too, so it's okay. We are still in the sort of front runners here. A lot of cars are still quite far behind us. So let's see what we can do with that. We are going to do one more lap after this one. And probably in that last lap we are going to push the tires like crazy. Because softs can go till 10%, I think, before they drop. So yeah, let's start really just destroying those tires. That's okay. And you are going to do 2 more laps. That means you can probably do orange for the remainder until you pit. That's okay, I think. Yeah, your tire wear is now really messing you up. But you should last, I think. That's okay. And we get the nice roundup bonus. Perfectly timed. We give you 10 laps of fuel. That means you can run on red for quite a while, probably. Because we don't have that many laps left. No, just don't go easy on your tires yet. I think you'll be fine. And as always, we do a fast pit stop. Ooh, you hit your cliff right at the end there. That's for the last 10 meters. That's okay. And when you get out, we'll probably run you on red-orange or something. Sorry, orange-red. Tires on orange and overtake mode on your engine. Really give you that extra fuel. Yeah, that's okay. You indeed... Oh, you definitely need to stop pushing. Bring them back a bit. Bring them back. I thought we'd be kind of okay, but we need to bring the temperature back immediately. You are probably going to hit your bandwidth, but let's keep you on blue. And your fuel is perfectly timed, so that's good. Yeah, this is an okay setup. Definitely messed up a little bit with the tires there. Yeah, you can tell if you're at the upper bandwidth and you have a driver that isn't so good anyway at conserving tires, then it really starts hurting. All right, we're back. My neighbor decided that now was the best time for drilling, so I quit the video for a little bit. Looks like we're still doing okay. 12%. You're barely not hitting your bandwidth, which is obviously very good. And I think we'll also run you on orange-red. Yeah, that cliff you really don't want to hit. You become so much slower. I think you could even see it when Price went towards the pit lane. He started really dropping off in terms of speed. We definitely don't want that to happen. Let's run you also on overtake mode. Why not? Yeah, this is good. Orange-red. And let's keep it at that. Price is still in 7th, which isn't too bad, especially considering 3 more people need to pit. And I'm not sure they're going to come out ahead of us. Especially if we can really push these laps. And have him set a good record. Lap time? Well, you are losing some spots immediately, pretty much. To people on mediums, that's just bad. They are running red, which I guess helps them quite a bit. But still, try and fight for these spots. Come on. Looks like number 1, Avaloa, is going to come out ahead of us. 4 and 6 are not, so that gives us 2 spots back. Yeah, we're in 6th now, so... Well, we'll see what we can do. We're still fighting for it. Number 5 ahead of us, Cavalcanti, is not going to run out the race without repairing 1 more part at least, so that's also very good. And let's see what we can do. I think we are going to just keep going on overtake just because our engine can take it and it really helps us stay ahead of the pack here a little bit. So let's keep that for what it is. I think we are going to have to push you back on the tires a little bit. And yeah, same for Kinney. We're just going to give her all the power that we have. She's in 16th, so she's not doing too hot, but... Oh, it's better than being in, what is it, 20th last time? I think Kinney so far has definitely been the worst of the 2 drivers, but that's mainly, I think, because most of her stats are in feedback, which is only really good for the practice, but not for, well, racing, basically, which is a shame for a racer, of course. Let's also pull you back. Don't want the tires to overheat. Let's see, how many more laps can we do with you? We could try for 5 if we now pulled you back. But is that smart? If we put you on 5, that'll be around 17 and 8. We could also go for 4 and run you on red for quite a while longer. And that might actually be preferred. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, you got a penalty. That's good. For us. Not for him. Let's give you a little bit back on those tires. Really want to keep ahead of these guys here. If possible. Let's have a look once we cross the finish line and see where we are at. We are losing out a little bit. Yeah, we lost that spot. We lost 6. That's a shame, but okay. All right, we're in the 13th lap. That means we have to do 13 more laps in total. Yeah, I would like to do 4 more laps on these tires. That is, I think, pretty much non-negotiable. And then we can run on red later in the race again for a while. That means we are going to do 5 more laps for you. So let's also put you on something like this. We are still putting up really good times. We're in danger of dropping to 10th because there's 2 fast cars right behind us. But it's not looking too bad. Well, we'll give him a little bit of power, and the tires are not looking too bad right now. We're not going to hit our lowest bandwidth for a while, and the cliff is definitely not in danger, I think, if we run for 4 more laps. Right at the end, we might push the tires a little bit more then. That was a bad turn there. That cost Price another spot, but that's against someone who's also on soft and probably has a better car, so it makes sense. Would be nice not to go to 10th, but that might not be a choice we get to make, of course. Make sure you don't hit that temperature cliff. Yeah, there you go. Alright. Yeah, we're looking okay still. We do definitely have a gap to 11th of, what is it, 3 seconds? It's not a lot. That's 1 pit stop mistake away, but ooh, there you go. Cavalcanti again with his issues. He should definitely have a long pit stop probably. Unless it's brakes, I guess, that's messing him up here. But the longer he stays out, the more he is increasing that risk of the part going bad and having to retire in the race. So that is very interesting for us, especially considering he's on mediums and he would probably want to run out there for a while longer. Banana did overtake Price here, so we're now in 10th, and we are also losing definitely some speed as we are now getting very close to Ja over there. But that's okay. We said we're going to do 2 more laps, and I am sticking to that strategy. So let's keep going. If we do get overtaken, obviously there's 1 more pit stop, so we have all the marbles to play for still. As this is now our last lap, and we have till 10%. I am going to push these tires to the max. Try and set the best lap time that we can possibly get. And let's prepare your pit stop before we forget. Yeah, fuel again is timed pretty perfectly. We will have 9 laps remaining. That means we can run you on orange for the rest of the race, but not on red. So let's see how far that gets us. And for you, yeah, you're also at 9:11. We do have to make sure, but we have to sort of preserve those tires. Ah, there you go. Yeah, Cavalcanti retired. That's exactly that risk that I was talking about. He needed to pit much sooner because I think we saw him already have that issue like 3 or 4 laps ago. And if you know that early in the race, yeah, it's either you retire or you just make the pit now, I think, because you get about 10 laps of fuel, so he could have pitted basically just before he retired and still be fine, but he decided not to, obviously, so that's a bit on you, buddy. But very good for us, as that was a spot that we were fighting for, so thank you very much, Mr. Cavalcanti. And let's start really dragging your tires now. We can probably run you on red, actually, for the remainder of the lap. Let's see. Yeah, nice, okay. And you can then definitely be a bit more risky with your fuel. Let's see, how did Price's pit stop go? Pretty good, nice. Let's run you on orange for a little bit. Actually, not sure how smart that is. Let's run you on orange for a tiny bit. Well, No, we shouldn't need to. We're not really being pressured by anyone. Let's preserve those tires and make sure we're in the upper band as long as possible. The fresher our tires are, the better our lap times will still be. So let's keep it at that for now. Kinney is doing okay on red. You are barely not hitting your cliff probably near the end. That is very good. And let's have you also do a quick pit stop. And she's obviously also going to softs. And Kinney has a bit more tire life to play with probably. We can put her to orange, I think, for quite a bit longer. And she also has more fuel to play with, so we can also put her on red for a bit longer. Dare I say, it has been a very good pit weekend. I don't think anyone had any mistakes, so that is very nice. Let's burn a little bit of your fuel, because the more fuel we burn, the faster we'll go, of course. And then we'll see where we get. In 1 or 2 laps, we'll probably pull back and give her orange as well. But for now, this is okay. Price, you are fighting for 14th with El Sadat, but a lot of people are now coming into the pits finally. Let's see where we are going to end up. Let's give a little bit of red. Just pull away. Maybe a tiny bit. Don't want to do that for too long, definitely. But let's see who we can pull out ahead of. Quite some people. We're in 11th now, and there's still at least 3 people that need to pit. So that is very good for us, of course. But we also have at least 1 person on our heels and 2 more that are also looking to capitalize. So let's see if we can keep them ahead and try and go for that 10th spot. It would be nice if someone else retired or crashed right now, but that doesn't seem to be in the cards right now. We have 7 laps left, so we kind of do need to put you on orange for a little bit. Yeah, let's push your tires for a little while longer. You should be okay, I think. You only needed to do 8 laps. You've already done a few, so that's okay. Ooh, Rogers over here is actually repairing a part. That is very bad for him. That's going to be an insanely long pit stop, probably. Well, not that long, but definitely long enough for us with Price to overtake him. Barely not enough for Kinney to overtake him, so that's a shame, but that is also not too bad. I'm not sure that we'll get Ja in this pit stop because we are 37 seconds behind him. That doesn't look very likely unless he needs to fix up a part as well. So we definitely need to hold off Valdez here if we want to meet our objective, but I'm not sure I can justify going through these tires, to be honest. I think we're just gonna have to do it on grid, and if he doesn't make it, he doesn't make it, to be honest. I don't think we can... Well, we have, let's say, 5 more laps left with 64%. We could push a little bit. The fuel, we definitely don't have much life left. We can run pretty much exactly on orange for the rest of the race. So that's not going to happen. Otherwise, we'll be out of fuel in no time. So this is all we can give you right now, Price. And that's what you'll have to do it with. Considering he's on mediums, that doesn't bode well for us. But he's also pushing very hard on those mediums. So, and he doesn't seem to have much fuel, otherwise he would be using it right now. So that is definitely not so bad. You can give Kinney a little bit more overtake. You actually have quite a bit of fuel left. So let's give you that little bit more power. We're obviously not really fighting for anything with Kinney, so that's not really important. Sheesh, 4 more laps, 53%. If we're about halfway on these tires, normally they can do 9 to 11, so I think... Well, we probably can't run it out on orange, but let's run it on orange for a little while longer. I would really love to stay ahead of this little pack. Because that costs us 3 spots immediately if they start overtaking us. It is gonna really eat up our tires to keep doing this though. So I'm not sure how long we'll be able to hold off. Valdez at least seems to be holding up the couple of people behind him, which is good for us. But yeah, we only have about 1 second between them, so let's see how that goes. We do seem, yeah, them battling each other is actually very good for us, because that seems to be holding them up a little bit. Looks like Valdez has finally lost the battle to both Chu and Melo. We have 3 laps left. You are... there's pretty much no one near you. And the guy behind you is having car troubles as well. Let's just keep you the way you are. I think you're okay. Put you on orange for a little bit. Still a full second between us, but they do seem to be gaining. Can we hold out? The question. I'm really not sure, but let's keep going. And that is looking okay still. The problem is we're gonna hit our lowest band, and that's really gonna cost us some performance, like pretty much right now. We also don't really have the fuel anymore to burn anything extra. Beauchamp has ran wide. Well, he's so far ahead that it doesn't matter. So this is really gonna be make or break now. Can Price with worse tires keep them ahead? Because this is really when it's gonna start hurting. And it really doesn't look like it, to be honest. He's already lost about half a second there on what he had. Yeah, this is what I was worried about. Oh, crap. Actually, his tires started in the highest temperature now too. Definitely a bit of a mistake. Same for you. I was really hoping we could kind of swing on by, but it really just doesn't seem like we can. I don't think we can fight for this 10th spot anymore without risking our entire race, basically. So finishing 13th or 12th or whatever we're gonna get is still better than not finishing at all. Yeah, that's a huge shame. We can't give him more fuel, we can't give him more tires. He just needs to run this race out now. And that probably means he's gonna finish 12th or even worse. But that is the way it is. We tried to make the gamble and run those tires a little bit ragged. We did run into the hottest temperature a little bit too much there. That was a shame, but yeah, we really need to stop this tire wear. I think right at the end there we might hit the cliff. 12%. I'm going to 11. And okay, we did hit the cliff, but right near the end there, so that was pretty much perfectly timed. It was not enough to get us the 10th spot and the sponsor objective, but we were already 2 full seconds off. Maybe we could have ran our tires a bit more conservatively, but I also feel like running those tires the way we did was the only reason why we were still in 10th to begin with. And overtaking was obviously never going to happen anymore. We just didn't have the power for that. I think we did about as well as we could here. 11th is definitely not a bad result. I hope that gets us that little marketability boost to get us back up to 4th level sponsor once more, but let's see. I'm not sure. We really needed very little in terms of percentages to get back. If we're very lucky, someone actually got a penalty. No. Yeah, someone did, but below us. So, well, that's okay. Shame, that could have netted us a little extra 400,000, which would have been nice, obviously. But on the other hand, that was definitely not a bad race for us, and we really, for sure, didn't get 10th. So that must have been a little bit of a boost to our marketability. Let's see if I am right. There you go, come on. Yes. Yeah, we came in 8th, so that's pretty good. Obviously, that's good for our driver morale. No one is getting any stats. That's fine. Yeah, there you go. I think we're right back in the 70. Let's hope that that actually gave us what we needed. Make a little bit of money. That's always nice. And let's see what that did to our sponsor rating. Yes, right back with 0.3 to spare. We are just about back in the level 4. That is very nice. Let's see what Hank Lipman wants from us. Scott Price has claimed that your brakes seem to be holding the team back, and technical commentators seem to agree. True. Yeah, like last episode, we literally made the mistake here of saying this one, which makes the chairman angry. We just say this one, it makes Price angry. We don't care. He's already happy enough anyway. Our pit crew had an amazing race weekend. I think that's pretty much one of the few reasons why we actually did so well. Because one mistake could have definitely cost Price like 4 spots, I believe. There were a lot of people seconds behind us. Kinney already was doing quite bad regardless, so that wouldn't have mattered too much, but definitely not unhappy about this. I am unhappy about these people because you are all garbage. Go away. And let's make sure that our pit crew gets upped a little bit again. You are at 0.4, so you should swap out. Let's say with Rodriguez. 0.2. Let's swap you out with you. You at 0.1 with bad stats. Let's swap you with you. We have a person with low stats and a front jack. Could swap him with him, and then do we have anyone with a better rear jack skill? No, not really. We could go for you, and then it's 0.1. But I'd rather get this, I think. Yeah. Okay. That's looking okay. Our car is looking good too. And since this episode isn't that long yet, and I did have to stop it for a little bit because of noisy neighbors, let's keep going for a little while longer. I'll see if I do another race, but at the very least, let's go for a little while longer. And this is why it was so important to get these level 4 sponsors, because now we have at least more potential. Woo. This is interesting. Obviously, this one gives us the most upfront payment and the biggest payment if we do make it, but 7th is a bit of a pipe dream. 10th, as we saw, was, well, almost possible, and 11th we just got. And that would have given us 300,000. So the question is, do we think that we can at least twice get 11th in the remainder of the season? Or do we think, well, never mind, let's just take the upfront payment? And I think actually we'll go with this one just purely because it's only for 3 races instead of 6. That gives us an opportunity to get another upfront payment later on or an even better sponsor deal. So let's pick that for now and take the little bit of extra cash. Scouting once more. And the car repair is finished. Let's see how everything is looking. Everything is looking fine, to be honest. Nothing too exciting going on. We are, of course, still fixing some reliability. Once we have our level 2 factory, that should help a lot. Now you could say, is it now time to start making some new parts? And I still think the answer to that is no. I would love, before the season finishes, to still already start on this design center. Get that to level 2. And we might even go into debt for that. But I would like to not be too much in debt. Because if we go right now, we'll be like minus 4.5 million. That's a lot. These also, all of them don't really excite me that much. I think design center level 2 is definitely priority number 1 now. Let's see also what this spec brakes does actually, because if brakes do become a spec part, as I hope they will, then obviously we don't need to do anything about them. If they don't become a spec part, we might consider actually starting on building a new brake, just because they're so cheap. They only cost about 500,000, I think, to start on. So that would be interesting. New vote started. All right, let's see about these spec brakes. And it seems like more people are for already than against. And since we will also be voting for, that makes us quite likely to win it. So yeah, let's see. First of all, there's us, +1. Hugo votes against, plus or -1 then. Okay, well, we are now 4 against 1. Harvey doesn't like it. Joachim doesn't like it. Carmen does. All right, 5 against 3. Vincent 5-4. 5-5, and that actually becomes a tie, and Ernie doesn't like it. All right, well, looks like spec brakes are not on the menu for us. That is a shame, to be honest. I would have really liked that to go differently. That means that we would basically have 3 parts left to actually compete on. So the gearbox, the brakes, and the suspension. Upside is that brakes are very cheap to do something about. So if we want, we can start already on building some brakes. Because those are actually going to carry over to next season. Do we want to, is the question. Really doesn't cost much, which is nice. Our designer is terrible though. So that already alone is not a very good sign. Yeah, I think we will cut the episode. Yeah. All right. I think that is enough then for today on that terrible disappointment. Let's end it. And let's make sure that we are going well in the next episode. I think in between episodes, I'll make sure to look at some staff members, because I think now that we are going to be looking at some parts, it is time for our lead designer to leave our team. She doesn't cost much to break the contract. So we will be doing that and making sure that we get someone that is a little bit better at these different parts. We now know which parts are going to be important for the coming seasons, and those are the parts that we'll actually be developing for. Then we also need a lead designer that can actually deal with that. So that is a good time to wrap it up. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.